New Zealand is Queensland's second biggest international tourism market. 500,000 Kiwis travelled here last year, pumping about $600 million into our state economy. So the pressure is well and truly on for Premier Annastacia Palaszczuk to consider signing up to a trans-Tasman travel bubble. We know this isn't set in stone yet, though. Our discussions are still underway between the federal government and their counterparts over in New Zealand about the possibility of this happening ahead of Christmas. Now, the Premier, Annastacia Palaszczuk, says that discussions will continue when state and territory leaders meet at National Cabinet. We know this could be, of course, of major benefit to Queensland, particularly in areas that are so reliant on international visitors, like here on the Gold Coast, in Cairns, in Port Douglas and in Whitsundays as well.
Meanwhile, still uncertain though when Queensland is going to reopen to all of New South Wales.
Well, Tom, the clearest indication we've been given from our Premier is that she's expecting 28 days of no community transmission in New South Wales before that could be a possibility. We've reached 2 days of no community transmission in New South Wales, and we know that that clock restarts at zero every time there is a source that can't be traced. So we are seeing a big push, though, of course, continuing from the federal government, a major division between the federal government and the Premier on this issue. Greg Hunt this morning calling for that border to reopen now.
New South Wales has been a model in terms of its outcome, as has Queensland, and both states have done very well. And we don't see that there are any Commonwealth barriers. We don't see that there's an epidemiological reason for any borders between those two states.
Not all bad news, though, Tom. We will see restrictions start to ease this Thursday. As of 1 a.m, we will see 5 extra local government areas in northern New South Wales added to that travel bubble. That's Byron, Ballina, Lismore, Richmond Valley, as well as Glen Innes. So that change will affect about 150,000 people in northern New South Wales. It means they'll be able to travel freely throughout Queensland with the border declaration pass. But on the flip side, Queenslanders will be able to travel as far south as Evans Heads without having to quarantine on return.